Besides being two of the greatest football players of their generations, Pelé and Ronaldinho are two athletes who have amassed great fortunes through hard work and dedication. But have you ever stopped to think about who had the more luxurious life? In this video, you'll watch a fierce battle between Pelé and Ronaldinho. Most expensive mansion. Both football legends lived in beautiful places, but who owned the most luxurious mansion? Pelé, for example, lived in Brazil, in a mansion in Jardim Acapulco, in Sao Paulo, a luxury condominium where the player Neymar Jr. also owns a house. The former player has already shown a little of his property during some interviews. The living room, for example, is a very large room, with a light color palette, decorated with several works of art on the walls, and even has a pool table in the corner. But what is impressive is the outside area, a huge space that has a large swimming pool surrounded by green areas. And of course, there is a soccer field for when the former player wants to play soccer with his friends and family. And although it has never been disclosed what the mansion is really worth, to get an idea, the real estate prices in this luxurious condominium cost an average of $4 million. Ronaldinho, on the other hand, owns a large 11,400 square foot mansion in Barra de Tijuca, Rio de Janeiro, which in 2011 was valued at approximately $9.7 million. And for owning a more expensive mansion, Ronaldinho wins this round. Point for him. Cars. The two football stars have always enjoyed beautiful cars, but which of them had the most impressive vehicles? Pelé's first vehicle was a Volkswagen Beetle, a vehicle that was very successful at the time, and that today, depending on its condition, can reach more than $15,000. Another of Pelé's vehicles was his Aero Willis 2600, the first to receive this vehicle as a gift for one of his victories. This vehicle, which at the time of its launch was considered a luxury, today can be found costing around $20,000. Pelé also once won a 1969 Mercedes-Benz 250 as a gift for his 1,000th goal. Today this vehicle is considered a kind of collectible and can be found today for over $25,000. Some years later he won a Mercedes 280S, another car that was very refined and imposing for the time. The vehicle is equipped with a 6-cylinder engine capable of producing a maximum power of 156 horsepower and reaching a top speed of 125 miles per hour. And it is no wonder that today, depending on the state of repair, the vehicle can cost upwards of $30,000. The soccer star has also been seen using a car that appeared to be a Mercedes 450 SL convertible, another collectible that can cost upwards of $40,000. Ronaldinho also owns beautiful cars, such as $50,000 Chevrolet Tahoe, $63,000 Hummer H2, $75,000 BMW X5, $90,000 Cadillac Escalade, $130,000 Porsche 911 Carrera S, $200,000 Aston Martin Rapide, $250,000 Ferrari 458 Italia, $260,000 Ferrari 488 GTB, $280,000 Ferrari 488 Spider, $350,000 Rolls-Royce Cullinan, and even a yellow Lamborghini Aventador for $450,000. Even more expensive, Ronaldinho has also posed next to a Bugatti Veyron, a supercar equipped with a 1,000 horsepower engine, which is capable of reaching a top speed of 252 miles per hour, and which in its most complete version can cost as much as $1.9 million. Another car that Ronaldinho has already exhibited is a customized Pagani Zonda, a sports car equipped with a powerful engine capable of accelerating from 0 to 62 miles in an impressive 2.8 seconds, and that can reach a top speed of 217 miles per hour. And to acquire such a sports car, one has to pay around $2 million. So, it's clear that Ronaldinho wins this round. Point for him. Extravagant luxuries. Both players had plenty of money to buy whatever they wanted, but which one tended to spend the most? Pelé, for example, was once seen wearing beautiful watches, such as $30,000 stainless steel Rolex Datejust, $70,000 Rolex Date Yellow Gold. Pelé has also been an ambassador for Hublot, one of Switzerland's largest luxury watch manufacturers, and has been seen with beautiful jewelry from the brand, such as $6,000 Hublot Big Bang UEFA, $15,000 Hublet UEFA Champions League. $20,000 Hublet Big Bang Unico FIFA. Back when Pelé was the biggest soccer star on the soccer fields, he decided to buy a speedboat and named it Kelly Christina after his first daughter. The boat is a Carbras Zareu 22 model, one of the most famous boats manufactured at the time, almost 10 meters long and able to carry up to 4 people. And although the boat was already very outdated, at the time it must have been worth a lot of money. When it was time to travel to the most different places in the world, Pelé always used private jets for his trips. One of the aircraft used by the player is the Bombardier Global 6000, one of the largest and most modern jets in the world, with autonomy for almost 7,000 miles. With almost 100 feet long, this large aircraft can offer all the luxury you can imagine. Its interior can carry up to 18 passengers in great comfort. And according to ATM Jet, the company responsible for taking care of Pelé's chartered aircraft, depending on the destination chosen, a trip can cost around 75,000 euros. One of Ronaldinho's favorite hobbies is to travel to different places in the world, always staying in the best hotels. An example is his stay at the Five Palm Jumeirah, which is considered one of the hottest places in the region, where certainly the player had a lot of fun. And to give you an idea of the price, the most expensive suite can cost as much as $35,000 per night. Another hotel he has stayed at is Nikki Beach, a seaside resort that has a more contemporary infrastructure, with accommodations that, depending on the suite chosen and the time of year, can cost upwards of $45,000 a day. And of course, in all these trips the player always uses private jets, a luxury that can cost tens of thousands of dollars depending on the destination and the aircraft. Ronaldinho also likes to enjoy the high seas aboard beautiful yachts, another luxury that can also cost tens of thousands of dollars. When it comes to dressing well, the soccer star doesn't like to save any money, and he has been seen wearing beautiful watches, such as $14,800 Jacob & Company, 5 Time Zone, $15,000 Cartier Santos 100 XL, $52,000 Audemars Piguet in 18K Rose Gold, $160,000 Diamond Audemars Piguet Extra Thin, $305,000 Audemars Piguet Tourbillon Extra Thin, and even a Rolex Rainbow Cosmograph Daytona. This is a beautiful watch that has almost 100 precious stones, counting 36 sapphires in a rainbow gradation, and it also has 56 diamond stones. And it is no wonder that to have this exclusive watch, it may be necessary to spend about $540,000. And for having the habit of spending larger amounts, Ronaldinho wins this round too. Other properties. The two Brazilian football legends lived in many places throughout their careers, but who had the most luxurious properties? In 1979, for example, Pelé bought a mansion situated on a 1-acre plot in the Hamptons in New York, one of the most luxurious and noble locations in the city, where several other celebrities also own homes, such as Beyoncé, Robert Downey Jr., among many others. The house, which faces the lake, has a beautiful brown facade with many windows, ideal to be able to enjoy the beautiful view of the coastline. When we enter the living room, we can see that the place is very spacious, with a kitchen integrated into the living room, besides having a double-height ceiling, which brings a greater feeling of amplitude to the environment. In all, the interior of the property has about 3,400 square feet, with 6 bedrooms, which have balconies that provide an excellent view and bring great natural light. And like every summer house, it could not fail to have an outdoor leisure area with a pool to cool off on the sunniest days. It is known that Pelé acquired the property in 1979 while he was playing for the New York Cosmos, paying about $156,000, equivalent to $600,000 nowadays. In 2018, he even sold it at a good profit for $2.85 million. Meanwhile, Ronaldinho has also owned beautiful mansions. He owns, for example, a modern, high-end mansion located in the Brazilian state of Rio de Janeiro. The 3,200 square foot residence has several accommodations and many works of art scattered throughout the rooms, as well as decorative awards and trophies from the player. Among the main rooms are the living room, the formal dining area, and the gourmet kitchen with stainless steel appliances. The mansion also has a family room with a TV, and there are 6 bathrooms and 5 lovely bedrooms to welcome guests in comfort, one of which includes a huge walk-in closet. Outside, There's plenty of space for recreation, as well as an outdoor dining table, a live music venue, a rustic tree house, and a large swimming pool with a jacuzzi and sun loungers. During the 2014 World Cup, Ronaldinho put this mansion up for rent for $15,000 per night. The former player also has a mansion with 2 soccer fields and an exclusive condominium, which is located in Porto Alegre, in the state of Rio Grande do Sul, Brazil. It is not known how much the mansion cost, but because of improper works carried out on the site, Ronaldinho has accumulated a debt of more than 2.2 million euros. And according to some sources, he had 56 properties, besides this one, blocked by the government. And for having a larger real estate portfolio, Ronaldinho wins this round. Point for him. Businesses. The two players also had other sources of income besides football, but who had the more lucrative businesses? One of Ronaldinho's most recent businesses is his company Açaí by Ronaldinho, which will market Açaí in the United States. In the wine business, he has launched his wine brand in partnership with other wineries. In the music industry, he owns a record label called Tropa do Bruxo, which has released several music videos on his YouTube channel that has more than 500,000 subscribers. Technology companies are another sector that the star likes to invest in, being a partner in a group that invests in thousands of startups. The player is so tech-savvy that he has sold his collection of NFTs with his images and has also created his cryptocurrency. But without a doubt, his biggest source of income after soccer has always been advertising, because he is a very well-known figure around the world, with several brands interested in investing in his image. To have an idea of values, Ronaldinho had an annual contract with Coca-Cola for $750,000, but he lost it after he was seen drinking Pepsi. Nowadays, Ronaldinho manages to have a good source of income by advertising on his social networks. Only on Instagram, for example, he has more than 70 million followers, where he is always promoting several brands, with sources estimating that a post of his costs around $250,000. Pelé, in turn, also had very similar sources of income. Because he is considered one of the best players of all time, he became a kind of celebrity known worldwide, consolidating himself as a sports icon. On Facebook, for example, he has almost 10 million people, and on Instagram he has more than 16 million people. And it is clear that all this visibility added to his gigantic authority in soccer and ends up bringing him a lot of money, since several companies are interested in investing to associate their products with the player's image. Among the brands that have already invested in advertising with Pelé are, for example, Puma, Volkswagen, Honda, P&G, MasterCard, Coca-Cola, Louis Vuitton, Subway, Emirates, and Santander, among many others. To get an idea of the value of these contracts, it is estimated that the watch company Hublot alone invested $500,000 to advertise with him. To make the Netflix documentary, some sources estimate that Pelé received about $4 million. And since it's difficult to determine the revenue from all their businesses, we'll call this round a tie. Point for both. Net worth. The two Brazilian football stars earned a lot of money throughout their brilliant careers, but which of them managed to accumulate the largest fortune? Ronaldinho, for example, had his salary vary according to the phase in which he was living. At the beginning of his career while playing for Grêmio, for example, it is estimated that he received around $1 million per year. At Paris Saint-Germain, the star's salary went up a lot, with estimates that he had a salary of around $2 million. But it was in Barcelona that Ronaldinho lived the peak of his career, because he was twice considered the best player in the world, which ended up increasing his salary exponentially. To have an idea, at that time he was considered the most valuable and well-paid soccer player in the world, receiving a salary of approximately $10 million per season. Adding up all his earnings, including sponsorships, Forbes estimated that in 2006 he made about $26 million. And even though nobody knows exactly how much his fortune is, some sources estimate that adding all the money earned throughout his career, Ronaldinho currently has a net worth of about $100 million, more than enough for him to enjoy life. Pelé, on the other hand, also earned a lot of money, being considered at the peak of his career the highest paid athlete in the world. To get an idea of values, when he was playing for the New York Cosmos, it is known that he had a contract that revolved around $2 million a year, totaling $6 million over 3 years. And although this is a huge amount of money, it is a far cry from what top-level players are paid today. And different from what many people think, the king of soccer made a lot more money these days off the field than when he was playing, because the salaries at the time were much lower. In 2015, for example, Forbes estimated that Pelé made about $15 million that year, a sum that came mainly from advertising contracts. And while no one knows exactly what his fortune is worth, some sources estimate that he had a net worth of $100 million, while other sources say it could exceed $160 million. Since Pelé appeared to have a larger fortune, he wins this final round. At the end of this battle, we have 2 points for Pelé against 5 points for Ronaldinho, making him the winner of this battle. But if you believe there are other arguments to support one of them, write your best justification below. Hey, you like the video? So don't forget about leave your like and comment, and tell some suggestions of another videos, and hopefully we gonna do it. All about channel Dios to satisfy your curiosity.